My name's Jackie. Initially I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and had the surgery for that, and when the histology came back in September I was diagnosed with this goblet cell of the appendix. Yeah, I freaked out completely, but the initial diagnosis, they said with it being ovarian it was fine, they would get out what they could, the chemo would clear everything up. But that prognosis changed with the change in diagnosis, and they said it was something that they couldn't fix. It was stage 4, I'd metastasised, and they could try and keep it in its box for as long as possible with the chemotherapy. Initially I had a lot of surgery. I had a full hysterectomy, I had my omentum, my appendix removed, I had a peritoneal swipe, I had lesions taken off the surface of my bowel, and what was left that the surgeon couldn't remove at the time because it was too dangerous, he scraped back to make as small as he could, which are lesions on my peritoneum and my diaphragm. And then I had 12 rounds of FOLFOX chemotherapy over 6 months. That's gone so well that now they're referring me to specialists at Basingstoke who are going to open me up and remove those metastases, hopefully, fingers crossed, and then some hot chemo and hopefully a cure. I read a lot of stuff about exercise and how it's been proven that if you stay mobile during treatment it gives you fewer side effects and it gives you a better outcome. So I did my first run the first day after my first chemo session, which was 8 weeks after my surgery, and I've continued to run when I can and throughout chemo. I'm back up to doing 5k now. In a decent time. I'm not as fast as I used to be, but I don't care, I can run, and I walk almost every day throughout treatment. I've done at least 3k walking as well, so that's what I feel has been really important to achieve a good outcome. And I had, well actually total 14 weeks of counselling, because some sessions I'd be like, why are we even here? We'd end up talking about food and all sorts of things, but then I hit a tough spot. So it was when I had the reaction to the oxaliplatin, and I was worried about what effect it would have on the outcome of the treatment and stuff, so she secured a couple of extra sessions for me, and by that time that had all sort of sorted itself out and I was feeling a lot calmer. So yeah, but she was amazing. She left me with a lot of strategies to help me cope. It's not just about me. I know that what's happening to me isn't just about me, it's about my family too. My daughters were like, at the beginning, obviously very frightened, and I promised them that I get emotional when I talk about my children, that I would do whatever they threw at me, take whatever they would throw at me for as long as I could put up with it, and that's what I intend to do. And when this new procedure thing came up, they said, are you going to do it? And I said, I promised you that I would, until I run out of steam or the doctors say there's nothing more they can do. Although I was given an incurable diagnosis, I've never considered myself that, and I've said that I wouldn't until such time as they've said that there's nothing else they can do. So I've learned to live with it. I accepted very early on that my lifespan was going to be reduced, and I think that was the biggest thing, the best thing that I could do. It kind of gave me peace to just make the most of what there is, instead of, I could either sit in a chair and wait for it to come get me, or I can put on my best pair of metaphorical trainers and outrun it for as long as I can. And that's what I decided to do very early on. Listen to your body. If you're tired, rest. And the other thing, it dawned on me 5 months after my surgery, I was on the treadmill trying to bash out my first 5k, and I was thinking it was the 5 months since I'd had my surgery, and I thought I'd been in hospital for over a week, and I couldn't even turn over in bed when I first came home, and here I was 5 months later running 5k, and it made me realise how far I'd come. I'd had this whole thing the whole time about I wanted to get back to here in terms of my levels of fitness, which made me stop thinking about how far I'd come. So my main piece of advice to anyone that goes through anything like that is think about how far you've come, not where you want to be, because then you'll see what you've achieved.